My boss left at like 3:30 because she's going to Sacramento. The other woman left when I went to lunch because she was doing something with her car, and the other person was working remote, and the other manager working remote, and the other two people that are in that area were working, are on PTO. So I was literally fully alone for the last hour of my shift. The only person that came by was the million-year-old Korean maintenance man.
I used to dream of days like those, and now I just don't give a fuck. Just act like I'm alone anyway. So we are going to be on a time crunch tonight because we're counting down till that edible kicks my ass.
Okay.
If this goes off the rails in about an hour and a half, it's because So, yeah, he explained it to me as, I guess in Denver, the weed is different. Because normally we'll take a 10 milligram edible and we'll be fine. Like, high, but fine. But this one, like, we didn't even like it. So,
oh no.
We'll see how that goes.
You have to work tomorrow.
It's Friday. I don't give a shit. What do I have to do tomorrow? Like 3 pieces of paperwork and take a shit? Like,
fair enough.
Nah, I don't gotta do shit tomorrow.
I have 5 reports that I need to file before the end of the month.
So you don't want one?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do one this weekend.
I got fucking blisters on my mouth from that pizza.
Sorry, I burned my fingers too.
Yeah, that was a minute too long, maybe. Just a minute too long. But you know it's not a minute too long. You know what's always a minute too long?
Boo!
This brand new episode of Soon to Be a Major Motion Podcast. The podcast where we read books that were allegedly turned into movies and watch movies that are allegedly based on books. I am Billy Beck.
I am Codie Beck.
And we are your intrepid hosts of this lazy book club we call a podcast.
This 2-person, not even a book club.
Half a book club. Codie, how have you been since we last recorded?
Great. Everything is fine and nothing is going poorly.
Do you want to pretend we recorded this on like November 4th and just not talk about it yet?
Sure.
It is definitely not November 7th. And the election hasn't happened yet, and I still have hope.
Talked about the boy on the pod yet?
Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah, we talked about the boy.
Oh.
But he's been all I've done this week. I need to rephrase that. Yeah, my week has been full of little baby Tobias, who is now out of the bathroom and has free roam of the house. And Luna doesn't hiss and growl at him every time she sees him anymore. And he is a sweet little baby boy.
The first night that we let him out of the bathroom and gave him free roam of the apartment, he managed to unstring the cat hammock from the bottom of the cat tree somehow.
It just hangs on hooks. It was fine.
He created a pile of toys at the foot of the same cat tree. He also fell off of it at some point during the night and woke me up.
He is still a clumsy little man trying to figure out his limbs.
Yes.
He is so sweet. He found a new spot on a bed of like your pajamas next to Luna's normal bed. Mm-hmm. And it is very sweet.
It took him like all week to figure out how to get up there though.
Yeah. He's very playful. He's not very loud. I'm sure will learn from his sister how to speak.
Yes.
But he does little chirps when she's around, and it's very cute.
It is very cute.
He purrs like a motherfucking engine when I hold him. Mm-hmm. I love him so dearly.
Yes. His tiny baby antics are wonderful.
It's as much as I love Luna, and she is my favorite female cat that's currently alive. I have to specify alive, because dead or alive, she's tied with 2 others for first. But as much as I love Luna, it is so nice having a playful kitten in the house again. Just to keep us on our toes.
Having an actual cat as opposed to Luna.
Shake up the routine a little bit. keep things interesting. It's nice.
Well, it's funny that you bring up routine, because the subject of the pod this week is all about routine.
Codie riding in on the segue.
Hell yeah.
what is the subject of the pod? What book have you read?
The book that I read this week is entitled Cheaper by the Dozen.
Cheaper by the Gullet.
Let me try that again. The book that I read this week is called Cheaper by the Dozen by Frank Gilbreth and Ernestine Gilbreth Carey. It is the story of a family in the early 20th century that has 12 children. And it is a sort of memoir of their lives. It was very charming. Now you may be aware they did turn it into a movie.
So, I heard about that. Before you read the book, had you heard about it anywhere? Like, did you have any experience with it before we read it for this, or?
No, I didn't even know there was a book until you told me.
So, the reason we're doing this, I may have mentioned this briefly before, but my freshman year of high school, our school did 3 stage productions. There was the fall play, the spring musical, and the spring play. And because of timing, you couldn't do both the spring musical and the spring play. And my sister was 2 years older than me. She was a junior when I was a freshman. And she auditioned for The Music Man, which was the spring musical that year. And I desperately wanted to, because I think I would have made a killer Winthrop at that age. I would have fucking nailed that role. But I was not allowed to audition because, quote, it was my sister's thing, end quote. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for, stifling my creativity at a young age. But I was allowed to do the spring play because it didn't coincide. And Toby is desperately trying to figure out how Luna is loafing on the couch, and he is not doing well.
Did you see he put his leg in
Yes.
first?
He is still trying to figure out how to be a cat. The spring play that year was a play based on a novel called Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh.
And I auditioned, and it's a play about, a family in the early 20th century that has 12 kids. Perfect for a high school production, because you can have scrawny little freshmen like me play one of the younger kids. Great. Lots of roles for kids to play. Awesome. I loved being in that play. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was like the third play I'd ever done. Fell in love with theater doing that. That same year, that Christmas, a little movie came out called Cheaper by the Dozen, based on the novel by Frank and Ernestine Gilbreth. And I thought, wow, I'm doing that play right now. Steve Martin's in this. Let's watch it. And, so you can understand, Cody, what I went through as a 13-year-old. Let's watch a trailer.
Let's watch a trailer.
Let's watch a trailer.
When Tom and Mary Baker were first married, they were blessed with a bundle of joy.
Is Jake your only child?
No, we have 12.
I couldn't keep her off me.
They were one big happy family.
Look alive.
Until Dad tried to make things better.
Shake McGuire wants me to coach the Stallions.
My whole life is here at Midland. I'm not moving.
I promise you, we will be a happier, stronger family.
Sounds wicked boring.
Now,
I got him! I got him!
things are getting a little tougher.
They asked me to go to New York for a few days.
I can handle this. Clean up on aisle 12!
You need help cleaning up this?
Life's turning a bit crazier.
Have you seen my frog yet?
Sorry, Charlie. Nigel, hi, Al.
It's Mark.
I knew that.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, everything's fine. They're doing homework right now. It's like a little mini think tank thing.
What do you have to say to reports that you're spreading yourself too thin, Coach? Get my kids. I'll meet you at the house.
And everyone's growing a whole lot closer.
12 kids later and we still got the heat.
Steve Martin,
Beans was a good frog. He hipped and he hopped. He loved hip-hop.
Bonnie Hunt,
Nora, honey, you want to help me in the kitchen get a pie? Look at a picture of Grandma, say the rosary. Nora, stop!
Hilary Duff,
I've benefited from your salary spike in various shallow, nonetheless pleasing ways, but things are getting pretty twisted around here.
Tom Welling,
In by 10 on school nights. Clear?
You got it.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Did I mention I don't like you very much?
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
Then I'm good.
and Piper Parabo.
They're welcoming you into the family.
They set me on fire. This is like I can run from me, but I can't hide from me.
What a nightmare. You soaked his underwear in meat. Funny? But wrong.
Cheaper by the dozen.
I felt the mood in the room drop while you were watching that trailer.
Wow, that bears literally superficial resemblance.
Tom and Kate Baker always wanted 8 kids. Psychopaths. They wound up with 12. Tom is a D3 college football coach who gets offered the head coaching position at his alma mater, while Kate is finishing up her memoirs, a novel called Cheaper by the Dozen. The family moves to the big city, where the kids struggle with new schools, and Tom juggles the new job with managing his massive family, while Kate is away for 2 weeks on a book tour. When it becomes clear Tom can't hack it, Kate comes home early so the family can ruin her shot at being on Oprah. After their son, Mike, runs away and they find him on the train to their old hometown, Tom comes to his senses and resigns from the football team, and they all live happily ever after. I assume I'm not watching the sequel.
Oh, so they talk about the sequel in the movie.
No.
Oh.
There's a sequel to the movie.
There's a sequel to the novel as well.
Bells on Their Toes, yes.
Yes.
See, I actually, like, it's 20 years ago now, but I've done research on this book. Because I was in the fucking play and a little shitty nerd, so...
You nerdy? Never. So, what I'm guessing happened from this is from the trailer, based on what I read.
Okay. Yeah, because as we mentioned last week, our next few episodes are really loose adaptations.
So, just for comparison's sake, I'm going to give you what the book is.
Okay.
The book is a memoir, more or less. Like I said, it was written by Frank and Ernestine, who were the 4th and 5th child.
Okay.
So oldest boy and 4th girl. They wrote this memoir, and it's basically a collection of stories about growing up in their family, because they recognize that the family's unique. Now, this was, of course, they were growing up in the early 20th century.
It was like the 40s, I think.
No.
Was it earlier than that?
Yes. They were growing up in their father died in 1924 and he was 55.
I remember there being a car crash.
No, he just had a heart attack.
No, not that killed him. I remember there being a car crash in the play.
No.
What the fuck?
There is no car crash that I recall. Their car sucks, but there's no car crash.
It wasn't their car. It was like one of the daughter's boyfriend's car.
No.
And he
had a shitty Model T. No.
Because I remember, oh god, there's a scene in the play, and yeah, I know, not even part of this, but the kids are in the living room, and you hear a car crash, and one of the older girls sees it out the window, and she's like, touchdown, or something like that, when the car wrecks.
No.
Did we write that in because the actor who played the boyfriend, like, did his ACL on stage in rehearsal and played on crutches?
That sounds like a thing you would do.
Did we do? I don't remember. This was 21 years ago.
You're aging yourself, babe.
I'm old, man.
So, the memoir is a bunch of stories told about their childhood. Almost all of them revolve around their dad. They clearly adored their father. This is a memoir of children who are writing the story about their childhood to talk about their dad because they love and miss him. It's very silly. It's very tongue-in-cheek at points. But it is overall, you can feel the love that they have for this guy. And he's 100% totally competent as a parent. So is their mom. They chose, literally the day that they got married, according to both their parents and themselves, they decided they were going to have 12 kids. They wanted 12 kids, and they wanted 6 boys and 6 girls.
Psychopaths. That is unhinged behavior.
The way that they described it in the novel was, I mean, they told the story about them making the decision to have 12, but earlier in the novel, they talked about how they're pretty sure that the only reason the family had that many kids is because their dad was so convinced that anything he and their mom worked on together was going to be a success. So it sounds like to me what happened is they tropified the shit out of the story. Because you can't really call it a story, it's just a memoir.
Yeah. But, I mean, I remember the play at least having, 3 acts and an overarching story. Like, yeah, it was, like, scenes with the kids doing goofy things, but there's still, like, an arc.
Yeah, it's kind of like... Obviously, in a novel, you can have a looser structure. So it's kind of like, oh, this is a story about... Here, let me just look at the... You get a pretty good idea of what each chapter is going to be about based on the title. So the first chapter is called Whistles and Shaving Bristles. And it's basically about them growing up with 12 kids and how the house was run. And it's telling the story about how their dad he was a quote-unquote motion study expert, which in modern terms we would call an efficiency expert. Mm-hmm. So his whole deal was making sure that everything ran smoothly. And they tell stories throughout the novel about, like, his work and what his work was and did.
Does the novel go into the most efficient way to soap yourself when bathing?
Yes.
Did you know I showered like that for years?
And you were never tested?
Not a one time. This is the first time I've ever told anyone I've showered like that.
Yes. He showed the boys how to do it, and then he showed the girls how to do it fully clothed, sitting on the living room floor. But yes.
The girls have one less step.
Yes. The second chapter is called Pierce Arrow, and it's all about their car. And it's also the first time you get the cheaper by the dozen thing, because it was something that their father would say, because he liked to cause a scene.
Oh, yeah, when you want 12 kids, you are the kind of psychopath that wants to cause a scene.
The second chapter is called Pierce Arrow, and it is about the car, which is a Pierce Arrow, which I don't know what it is, but apparently it was a giant monstrosity.
I've seen pictures. Yeah, no, it's a big old car.
They talk about how basically their father was a terrible driver, but refused to admit that he was a terrible driver. So they all, as a group, they kind of all learned how to call out for other cars. Like, people would be people who were seated in particular areas of the car knew where to call out and, like, where to warn their father of stuff.
So, if I recall correctly, this takes place in New Jersey, right?
They move around a lot. I believe the bulk of it takes place in Montclair, New Jersey.
Yeah. So, Jersey driver bad. Got it.
They live in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and they spend, like, at least one summer in California.
So not Midland, Indiana, or Evansville, Indiana. Illinois.
No.
I think they're both Illinois.
I don't fucking care.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, it's all very East Coast.
Okay. As you're describing this, I am trying desperately to find links. And what I've got so far is 12 kids.
That's it. 12 kids and a successful mom, because the mom is also independently successful.
This mom is not independently successful. She's a stay-at-home mom who's, like, writing her book. And, like, she gets her book published, and she does her tour, but she has to cut her tour off early because she realizes that Tom can't fucking do it alone. She goes back to Indiana. The last stop on her tour was Oprah, and Oprah sends a camera crew starring fucking Dax Shepard to do, like, a thing. And when things break down in the house, the camera crew does the least realistic thing in this movie, which is, whoa, this family's crazy. We can't film this. Motherfucker, it's 2003. Jerry Springer was the hottest shit on TV. You are rolling camera without telling them and airing that shit.
They did that to this family in the fucking 20s.
They filmed them being fucking crazy?
Okay, so they had multiple newsreels happen. So there's a multiple thing, like, whenever their dad had a new paper or study published, or their mom published a study, he would do, like, newsreel footage. Or if they had, like, some sort of something that was going on with the business, they would, like a sponsorship or whatever company he happened to be working as an efficiency expert at the time, he would do, like, basically marketing for whatever they were doing. And multiple times he had the kids involved in it. So, like, the memorable one is they bought a bunch of pencils, like wooden pencils, when automatic pencils were invented, and buried them by the sea at their summer home, and then dug it, like, they did it for pictures, then they dug it up and did it again for the film cameras, and then they dug it up again and used all the pencils.
Because it's wasteful if you don't.
Exactly! And they also, the big one that they didn't like, where they were made to look silly, was they had them all eating dinner outside, and it was supposed to be just like a thing where it's like, oh, the family's eating dinner. When they submitted it as a newsreel, the guy had sped it up to make it look like they were eating super duper fast. And, like, all their laundry and shit was in the background. Because at this point, it's not super clear what the age gap is between any particular set of children. But as of 1924, when Mr. Gilbreth dies, the youngest is 2, and the oldest is in college. The oldest daughter is a sophomore in college, and the youngest is 2.
That's kind of about the spread. So we found another similarity. It's not clear how old the oldest is in the movie, but she's out of high school for sure. And she's either back in college or just graduated college. And the oldest, the youngest, the last set of twins, I want to say is 4 or 5.
There are no twins. That was one of the things that they make a joke about in the book, is he thought it would be more efficient if they had multiple births.
Right? And they never do.
They never did.
Fucking hell. The other thing, like, you were like, oh, the kids helped him out with work. This movie could have perfectly done that, considering he brings the football team to practice in their backyard because he can't be away from the kids, and he still doesn't involve the kids in his work. Like, when they show up at practices, they get kicked out.
One of the things...
It's like they were told to do the exact opposite.
One of the things that this book impresses over and over again is that it's one of those things where they kind of build up to it and tell you it in the final chapter when he dies. He knew he had a bad heart basically his whole life, and he kept being told by doctors, like, you're gonna die. But he finally got the, like, you're gonna die, like, soon. Like, you have a year. And when they reflect on it as adults, you know, writing the book, they're like, we realized that our dad, the way that he taught everything and the way he set everything up was because he knew that our mom was going to be left alone with 12 kids. He didn't know when it was going to happen, but he knew it was going to happen. So he wanted everything set up so that all of that labor didn't immediately fall on her.
And meanwhile, in the film, he's alone with them for 2 weeks and has to resign from his job and blows his wife's book release. And, like, the one kid runs away and the other kid gets kicked off the football team and his daughter breaks up with her boyfriend.
This, overall throughout the book, and of course, this is being written by 2 of the kids, so of course... they're not gonna, like, air a lot of dirty laundry.
No. Especially not in a book that came out in, what, the 50s? No, like, late 40s, I think?
Let me
Because the first film was 1950, so I think it was, like, probably 46 or 7. If I got that right, I'm gonna fucking shit my pants.
Sorry, I have to go to, like, the butt of the book.
When did the Cheaper by the Dozen book come out?
48.
Cheaper.
Did I say 46 or 7?
You did.
All right, well...
I thought it came out in the 50s because, you know, Frank Gilbreth was in the fucking war, but no.
No, the other war.
It came out in 48.
So I had a wire crossed in my head, because this is the play that started a streak of me not being able to use an American accent. When I was in high school, I had to sing in German in this. So for whatever reason, the wire crossed in my head that Gilbreth was German.
So, two things. First, he bought Victrolas for each bathroom because he was going back to his thing where he wanted to be constantly teaching them.
This is the play where I learned what a Victrola was.
So
that's right.
He wanted them to be constantly learning. And so they had French and German records, and they would have to play them while they were in the bath.
And in the play, in the stage version, I was one of the kids to, because I don't think we had, like, the sound design to do that properly or the props budget. But, like, and the play was like a one-room play.
Yeah.
So they had two of the kids come out and sing in German and French. Mm-hmm. And I had it might have even been a cassette tape, but probably a CD of a recording of the song that I used to practice that I got from the director. We had 3 directors on that play. Jesus Christ.
And then the second thing was something about German learning.
I thought he was German and worked in... Did he work in Germany?
Yes, he had an office.
Okay.
He had an office in London, and he did a bunch of European tours. But the other thing was, I'm going to go ahead and say era-typical racism.
Ah, yes.
Whenever they would run into someone and he could discern their ethnicity, especially because all of his children were redheaded and freckled or blonde.
They're all the redheaded stepchild.
He would always be like, how can I get, do my Irishmen get across for free? Do my Dutchmen get whatever? And so he would just say whatever ethnicity he thought the person he was talking to was.
So all of the kids are blonde or redhead, right?
Yes.
The one kid who has a crisis of confidence because the siblings mock him, they call him FedEx because he's not actually one of them. He's the one redheaded kid.
There is a story in the book about how the dad was alone. The mom went on a trip for some reason, and the dad was alone for like a couple of days, a week maybe.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we've got a similarity here.
So the mom comes back and she's like, did you have any troubles with the kids? And he's like, no, only with that one. I had to spank him. And she looked at the child and she was just like, that's not ours, honey. It was one of the neighbor boys.
It's the opposite of this movie. Even like you said earlier that it's written with so much like love and reverence for their dad.
Yeah.
They fucking hate their dad in this movie.
It's that trope.
And like even like the filmmakers hate that character. He just gets abused throughout this film.
It's that trope of the sitcom dad. The useless boob who can't do anything right. And his only job is to make money. And I feel like that's because that's the type of character, especially Steve Martin, who's good at physical comedy. That's the type of character that you could get. And it's also that era.
He was good casting for what they were trying to do here.
Yeah.
With this movie is I get the feeling they wanted to sell a movie to like what they call it was a 4-quadrant picture. Mm-hmm. Get all 4 adult men, adult women, young boys, young girls.
Yeah.
Get everyone in the theater, have a good laugh. It came out on fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies, right?
It's a family comedy.
And you're not going to do a funny like comedies in 2003 in the early aughts were way more mean-spirited. Mm-hmm. Like they felt the need to make them mean-spirited because if it was too kind it'd be called schmaltzy. Because we were still like in a cultural period of irony. Mm-hmm. And cynicism rather.
Yeah.
Irony came like after. So a lot of the humor in this movie, put scare quotes around humor, please, is like vomit jokes and just chaos and mayhem.
Yeah.
But the novel, it sounds like the jokes are just everyone is in on the bit that there's 14 of us, and let's just be chaos in other people's lives. Let's just give other people something to talk about when they get home.
Exactly.
You know, and that's not what and it's a very different kind of energy, those two levels of humor. That one worked better on a screen in 2003 and the other works better in a book in the 40s. But, oh man, it does not... I didn't like it.
So, I do want to say, from the trailer, there's that whole scene where they have the underwear soaked in meat.
Yeah.
That has basis, not anything to do with underwear, but in torturing a partner of one of the children.
Do tell.
So, Ernestine, you know, the one writing the book, is telling this story where there was when they were allowed to date, which there's a whole funny story about how Anne basically, like, breaks their Anne is the oldest daughter, breaks their parents down into letting all of them date, and she makes a joke about, she makes a note, she's like, man, I hope that, like, the girls appreciate this later, like, what I'm doing. Like, there's a whole thing about how she bobs her hair poorly herself.
You're, like, awakening memories, because I remember this scene in the play now.
Yes, so that, because once the hair's gone, they can't grow it back. So she knows that they'll be allowed to, the rest of them will be allowed to do it and be more fashion forward. But this particular thing happens after they've all started dating. One of Ernestine's suitors climbs into a tree outside her window, and I believe one of the other kids notices and gets the attention of everyone else, including Ernestine. So Ernestine goes back into her room basically to trap him, and the rest of the children encircle the bottom of the tree, start piling garbage around it, and one of them has a fucking torch. And they scare the shit out of this boy. Basically because the older sisters are like, first of all, fuck you. Absolutely not. And second, they're like, go ahead, spread this fucking story about how you peeked in the window and we tried to murder you. Don't fuck with us.
That's awesome.
Yes.
No, they just soak Ashton Kutcher's pants in meat. And apparently they set him on fire, but unfortunately that's off screen. Don't get to see that. So I'm curious, because you started naming names.
Yes.
Do you have a list of the kids' names, and is it in order?
Possibly.
Because I kind of want to go through and see if any of them match. While you're looking for it, the only other similarity I can think of is there is a Gilbreth in the movie. It is the mom's maiden name. Kate Gilbreth Baker. The problem is, it was Tom's family where he had 8 brothers or sisters. She was an only child.
He had a bunch of siblings. I don't remember the specific number. She also had a lot of siblings.
Of course. And yet, when he's struggling to watch them all himself, and he calls his oldest daughter and her boyfriend to come help, and they can't do it, and then he starts calling babysitters, he doesn't think to call any one of his actual blood relatives to come and help? Them kids got 7 aunts and or uncles, plus possible spouses, and none of them make an appearance?
Now, I can't find a list in here, so I'm going to look up a list really quick, because I vaguely remember it. You know what? I think they do go through... Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. So
we're going to go one at a time here. Start with the oldest.
The oldest is Anne.
Nora.
Oh, I fucked it up. I thought Ernestine was the 4th. She's the 2nd. Ernestine.
Charlie.
Martha.
Lorraine.
Frank Jr.
Henry.
Bill.
Sarah.
Wait, sorry. Anne, Ernestine, Martha, Frank Jr., Bill.
Sarah.
Lillian.
Jake.
Fred.
Mark.
Dan.
Jessica.
John, also called Jack.
Kim.
Robert or Bob.
Mike.
Jane.
Nigel.
And her name is not listed in the correct order, so I have to do fucking math. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, after Frank Jr., but before Bill, there was Mary.
Oh, and that's the baby?
No.
Oh.
Mary died when she was 5.
Oh,
so there was not a point where they had 12 children alive at once. They don't clarify that until the sequel.
Oh. Well, the last one was Kyle.
The youngest one is a girl in the book.
So I was mad when he's calling babysitters in the movie, and on the other line they ask how many, and he keeps saying 12 when one of his kids doesn't live at home, and also 2 of them are in high school and don't actually need babysitting, but he keeps saying 12, except the one time he says, well, actually 11, but then the next time he says 12 again? And the actuals never actually even had 12?
Well, they had a total of 12
They had 12
children.
kids, but never all at once.
Yes,
Yeah.
they had 12 kids that survived infancy.
Yeah. Well, fuck, this movie got nothing right.
Now, does it... She calls it cheaper by the dozen.
Yeah.
The explanation for that, when I was talking about the car, is that was one of their father's favorite jokes. He would time it so that when they were in traffic and the light was about to change and people would gather around and look, whenever anyone asked him, why do you have so many, or something to that effect, he'd just be like, well, at a certain point, they're all just, they come cheaper by the dozen. And then he would drive off.
And yet, in this movie, I do not recall a time in which the Baker family...
So really, there should be 13.
Makes a reference. No, they never... they have a dog, and then there's Beans, the frog, that dies. Beans' mom's name? Pork. That one's one of the more subtle jokes in this movie. What else you got?
I think that's it.
I was gonna say, are any of those characters stereotypes like a lot of these kid characters are? No, because they're real people. This guy's the football player. This one's the fat kid. This one's the one who doesn't belong. This one's the tom girl. This one's the pretty girl.
The only ones that are, singled out ever, you got Jane as the baby, because she's the baby. You've got Anne as the oldest, because she's the oldest. And then you've got Frank Jr., because he's the first boy. And then you have Bill, because Bill is the troublemaker.
Ah, it's Sarah that's the troublemaker, which I think is the same kid, the fifth?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we got somewhere.
Well, it's technically the sixth, but yes.
All right, then we lost it. Because that would make it Jake, and he's like... I don't know.
Yeah, Bill is the one who would pull practical jokes on their father, because their father loved to pull practical jokes on them. So if you could get him back, he would be angry, and then if you could make him laugh, you would be fine. But yeah, every time there's a kid being a little shit, it's Bill.
Yeah, there's a scene where it's very clear that that's Sarah, and it's the meat scene where he lines them all up, and he's like, all right, which of you is... I know you were all involved. Which of you is the mastermind? And the youngest twin stepped forward. It was us, father. Very clearly scripted. And he's like, no. And he points out he knows it was Sarah. I think some things might make a little bit more sense about the direction this movie went if we talk about the people who made it.
Yes, let's.
We're going to start with the director, Sean Levy. His other works include the Night at the Museum trilogy.
Okay.
And Big Fat Liar.
Ooh.
Same guy. Same energy.
Yeah. Having read this book and loving Big Fat Liar, I don't think that works together.
Yeah, they're two different things.
Yeah.
They're two very different things.
This is more like Marley and Me.
Yeah. The writers, the first was Sam Harper. He wrote Rookie of the Year, which is an underrated baseball movie, if you ask me.
No.
And it's not based on a book, relax. And Just Married, which was the Ashton Kutcher...
Oh, so he's the reason that Ashton Kutcher got involved?
I think that was after.
I think
that was also Sean Levy.
That would track. That's the same kind of manic energy.
The other writing partners that were on this are Alex Sokolow and Joel Cohen, who...
Okay.
They were on the 8-man team that did Toy Story, and famously for a great story, they were on Garfield the movie.
Oh God.
Because Joel Cohen spells it Cohen. The Coen brothers spell it Coen.
Yes.
So when Bill Murray was approached to play Garfield, he looked at the script, saw Joel Cohen, and went, "Oh fuck, I loved Fargo," and took the job.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Different Cohen. Cast. There's a lot of people in this fucking movie. Tom Baker, we mentioned, was played by Steve Martin. He was in The Jerk, as you mentioned, father of the bride. I feel like that dude's been in his 50s for 75 years.
Yes.
That dude went gray at 12 and just owned it.
You want to know what's the worst part about Steve Martin? He's also a really fucking talented writer.
He's really fucking funny, too.
Like, Picasso at the Lapina G is fucking hysterical.
Oh.
Bastard.
Yeah, he's kind of wasted in this movie. It's a lot of physical comedy. That's, like, very clearly stuntman does the thing, and then close up on his face going, whoa! And then the audience laughs, and the kid spills their popcorn, and then we leave the theater unsatisfied. Kate Baker was played by Bonnie Hunt, who had done Rain Man, The Green Mile, future episode of the pod. We want to talk about Tom Hanks struggling to pee. I'm gonna do the 3 oldest kids to start.
Okay.
Nora, the eldest, was played by Piper Perabo, who was in Coyote Ugly. She was in The Prestige. I would do things for her.
Like, get bit in the crash by a dog?
For Piper Perabo, 2003 Piper Perabo. Charlie Baker was played by Tom Welling, who is most known as Clark Kent in Smallville.
Yeah, loved him.
The whole movie, I'm trying to figure out what I know him from.
Fun aside, in Smallville, the episode that I most remember from Smallville is the one where he discovers his heat vision. Do you know what triggers his ability to control his heat vision?
His erection. I don't like how quickly you didn't say no.
If he thinks about sex, he gets heat vision. Like a teenage boy thinking about sex, getting heat vision.
The entire city of Smallville was burned to the ground today in about a 45-minute period. After gym class and before sex ed. Lorraine Baker, the 3rd oldest, was played by Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire herself, and I had a memory unlock of a thing that made me mad in this era, A Cinderella Story.
Uh-huh.
If I recall correctly, and my memory may be hazy, so I'm going to quickly look up the soundtrack while I'm telling the story. In A Cinderella Story, she's not a cheerleader, but she falls for, like, the quarterback guy.
Yes.
And there's a scene where she's, like... It's like the low point of the movie, and she's like walking in slow-mo, and she's looking at the football field, and he's like doing something, and she's sad and all that shit. The song playing during that is Jimmy Eat World's Hear You Me.
That is not what that song is about.
That song is about a death. That song is not appropriate for that fucking scene. Where the wire got crossed in my head was I thought the song was All Kinds of Time by Fountains of Wayne, which is just a song about playing football. But Hear You Me is way worse.
Hear You Me is way worse.
But sonically, you understand how I'd confuse the two.
Yes.
They're very similar tones. Supporting cast outside of the family. Hank, the boyfriend, is played by Ashton Kutcher. You know, punked. There's a bully who bullies Charlie, the eldest, played by Jared Padalecki of Supernatural fame.
Why are you gonna bully a man that looks like fucking... whatever.
Why is Sam Winchester bullying Superman?
Don't understand.
There's an electrician who shows up a few times, played by Wayne Knight, friend of the pod from Jurassic Park.
He's black, right?
Wayne Knight?
Yes.
Newman?
Oh, no. Okay.
He played Newman, right?
I don't know. I clearly don't know who this man is.
Oh, you do? Fucking Barbasol.
Yeah, he's... No. No, he is not who I... Because they have a...
This fucking guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
They have a,
He's famous for his line in the scene where my sex offender former acting teacher was in.
Yes.
Dodgson! We got Dodgson here! Wayne Knight!
Nobody gives a shit. Isn't that the DR? Isn't that in the Dominican Republic?
It might be.
What I was thinking of there was they do have a... I don't know exactly what he is. You'd call him, like, kind of a handyman. His name is Tom Greaves. And his line frequently, whenever the family asks him to do something that's like above and beyond the capabilities of already dealing with 12 children, he's just like, Lincoln freed all the slaves but one.
That's
why I was
that is a funnier line than any of the shit he says in the movie. And also, he's just in here as electrician. They could have named him Tom Greaves. Act like you read the book. They looked at the cover and went, I've got an idea for a movie. Buy the rights. Like, what did they buy the rights to this for? The title? A joke they never make in the movie? Actually, they might make that joke, even though they wrote in call it Baker's Dozen, and you don't have to pay for the fucking rights.
Yeah, especially if you're not going to use the name.
Like, the name comes up twice, Gilbreth. Mm-hmm. It's on the cover of her book, and they play a game they call Squash Apple, which insists of Tom hitting apples with a tennis racket while the kids throw them at him. And they say Great-Grandma Gilbreth came up with that. Nothing?
No, Grandma Gilbreth is in the book, but she's mostly just like...
No, not one of the kids makes up a game involving hitting fruit with a racket?
No.
Jesus Christ. Also, the game, like, as it's portrayed, he's like, hey kids, it's time to play squash ball or whatever, and the kids are all fucking excited about it. And he's, like, baseball stance, and one of the youngest is just tossing the apples. And I'm like, if I were one of those kids, when's my turn with the racket? That's the fun part of this. Why is Dad just having fun?
You get to throw apples at Dad.
Anyway, I digress. They have a neighbor family who's a snooty neighbor family with one kid. Except the kid's not snooty. He just wants to be friends with them because he's, like, suppressed. But they're, like, vegetarian and fancy-pantsy. And when he has his birthday party, they have, like, a fucking orchestra playing. And the kids aren't allowed. But they sneak in anyway and cause havoc because it's a fucking movie.
So, they did have neighbors at their, I don't want to call it a summer house because that makes it sound fancy. The dad bought 2 lighthouses that had been abandoned by the military.
That sounds fucking awesome!
And a shitty little cottage, and he had the lighthouses moved near the cottage, and they had neighbors on that one strip, and after one summer, the neighbors paid to have their house moved away.
Amazing. But the Shanks don't do that. Bill Shank, played by Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
Cameron.
Oh, okay.
I could tell when you're faking it.
Yeah.
Shake McGuire, his best friend who gets him the job, was played by Richard Jenkins. He was in Burn After Reading, and he was one of the main scientist guys in Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, okay. Okay. Not the one that gets eaten by the mermaid, or not the one that gets eaten by the mermaid?
I think he's the one that's eaten by the mermaid.
Okay.
I can't remember. And I mentioned Dax Shepard, the cameraman. Mm-hmm. Well before he did, like, Zathura. Which is what I know him best from. I love that movie. Yes, it's stupid. Yes, it's a sequel. It's legitimately a sequel to Jumanji. I fucking love it.
I know him as Kristen Bell's husband.
Also reasonable. You may have mentioned I didn't notice, or mention, like, oh no, I'm losing the race. We gotta wrap this up.
You didn't mention the other children.
You may notice I only mentioned 3 of the kids. Because it's time to return to a favorite segment of ours. Where are they now?
Hell yeah.
Since this came out 20 years ago, I figured we could probably find some information. Child number 4, Henry Baker, was played by Kevin G. Schmidt, who underwent a weight loss journey at age 17, leading him to work with co-star Allison Stoner on an exercise and fitness tape. And he is currently an advocate for sustainable farming techniques.
Okay.
So he was the one who was the fat kid trope.
Ah, okay.
So good for him. Sarah Baker, who was the Tom Girl trope. Was played by Allison Stoner, who began their career on the Disney Channel before branching out into careers in music and dance.
Yep.
They also launched the Allison Stoner Project, a dance video aimed at kids after their own experience with an eating disorder.
You said they a lot.
Yes, because that is their preferred pronouns.
Ah, okay.
Look up a current picture and see what happened to the Mike Super Short Showgirl. It's a good look for you. It's a good look.
Fair enough.
Jake Baker, who I don't remember which kid this was. Jacob Smith, he retired from film acting in 2005 after the sequel. All I could find from him was he still lives in LA. He does local theater. He drives a Tesla and he posts about Jesus. Thanks, Instagram, for that information.
I almost prefer if he would have just been a fucking Tory.
Mark Baker was played by Forrest Landis. He continued acting until 2008. His last film was Spy School. And I couldn't find shit about him other than he likes skateboarding with his friends. But that was like info from a few years back. Okay. So I hope he's still alive. Jessica Baker was played by Liliana, I don't know if it's Mummy or Mumi, M-U-M-Y. She's still acting, mostly doing voice work. She got married in 2003 and has one son.
Okay.
I'm not getting a lot of information on a lot of
these
kids.
Wait, she got married 2023?
23. Did I say 2003?
Yes.
She was like 8 years old.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
My bad. Kim Baker was played by Morgan York, who retired from acting in 2010 after her stint on Hannah Montana. And she now writes young adult novels and created the podcast Half Moon Chronicles. Okay. She also, I didn't write this down, but I just remembered it. She had a TikTok video go pretty viral. That was like why I quit acting.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's kind of like, I didn't read anything specifics, but I get like the vibe of she's like trying to shine some light in a dark place.
I wonder if she was part of that Quiet on Set.
I don't know. I didn't see anything about that, but it seems like she's kind of in that space. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mike Baker was played by Blake Woodruff. He continued acting until 2017, and he is now a real estate agent. Okay. And the youngest, the twins, Nigel and Kyle Baker, were played by Brent and Shane Kinsman. They kept working in the industry till 2008, and now they're just like normal young adults. Like I think they both did a jiu-jitsu tournament recently. They do like...
Were you just stalking their Instagram?
For some of these kids, that's all I had, dude.
Okay.
So, yeah, for these two, I had jiu-jitsu, fishing, and dirt bikes on their Instagram. And you know what? You get a vibe from that Instagram profile of what these kids are like, right?
Fair enough.
So, and the last one, Dylan Shank, the neighbor boy, was played by Stephen Anthony Lawrence. Beans from Even Stevens.
Oh, okay.
He continued acting until 2014. And he is currently speaking in high schools about his history of substance abuse and has been sober for 5 years.
Oh, good
so
for
good
Beans.
for him. There were 3 shots in this of one of these kids dying young. And they all kind of came out the other side real good.
Yes.
Like 3 or 4 shots, actually. So, yeah, that could have gone a lot worse.
Considering that we've had other movies with fewer child actors that have ended worse, all right, well done.
Like, the worst case scenario in that is that one of those dudes probably voted for Trump. Like, I mean, we'll vote for Trump tomorrow, because I'm not thinking about that yet. Yeah. Other casting options. I did find some options. There wasn't a lot of trivia on this movie that I could find easily, and I did not want to do more research than I had to, because fuck this movie. Other actors in for Tom Baker. Tim Allen.
Ugh.
Kurt Russell.
Maybe.
Robin Williams. Oh. Mel Gibson.
Oh, God.
Chevy Chase.
Ooh.
And Tom Hanks.
I think if you could get the presence of Tom Hanks and the chops of Robin Williams.
If you did a more correct adaptation, what's the word I'm looking for?
Accurate, faithful?
Faithful, yeah. If you want to get a more faithful adaptation of this and do it today, cast Tom Hanks now and have it directed by Wes Anderson. And then just everything that's in the book. Imagine Wes Anderson shooting The Lighthouses.
Yeah, honestly, the vibe I'd want to go with for the dad would be Jack Black. Because that was kind of that was kind of the vibe that you got, is he was just curious and fun and fascinated and a little bit eccentric.
Okay, yeah. I see it.
He also was described as being very overweight most of his life.
Okay, yeah, Jack Black would work then.
Yeah.
You think an efficiency expert would understand that about the... Never mind. Sometimes people can't control their weight, and I know that. Too easy to make a fat joke sometimes. You made a joke about how... Why would Sam Worthington stand... Sam Westington? What's Supernatural? Supernatural Sam. Jared Padalecki. What's the... Sam Winchester.
Oh
That's his name.
God.
Yeah, I'm fighting this edible real hard right now.
I don't even like Supernatural. Why are you looking at me?
Because you're on Tumblr. And so are they. You asked, like, why would he be the bullying Superman?
Yes.
So he auditioned for Charlie, got the role, had to back out because I think he was doing Supernatural
Probably.
in 2003, wasn't he? I don't know. He couldn't play the role. He couldn't do all the dates, but he could do some dates. Mm-hmm. So they put him in as the bully because they wanted somebody taller than Tom Welling.
Okay, fair enough.
The only other interesting piece of trivia I found is that Bonnie Hunt herself wrote a draft for the movie that was closer to the book. Mm-hmm. And Fox wanted a lighthearted family comedy instead.
I kind of get that because, yes, it's lighthearted and family, but because of the love that you can feel through it, I was genuinely, like, very sad reading the chapter where he died.
Yeah.
Because it, like, shocked them all.
Yeah, and Fox wasn't doing that kind of family picture then. It was stuff like this, and I think Daddy Daycare has real Fox energy.
Yeah.
Like, it was always movies like chaos and sound effects and an animal and somebody slips and vomit. Like, all those movies had that same shit.
Yeah.
Like, no one was really doing, like, that kind of energy as a family movie then.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Touchstone, which was Disney. Which is funny that, like, this is on Disney Plus because Disney bought 20th Century Fox. And you can't tell that it's not a Disney product because of fucking...
all of the Disney Channel
Hilary
actors.
Duff was on Disney Channel. Sarah Baker, Allison Stoner was on Disney Channel. Beans. Stephen Anthony Lawrence was on Disney Channel. Like, I think there was one more... what's her face? Morgan York was on Hannah Montana. Like, Hilary Duff had the song that was over the soundtrack, over the credits, which was a Christmas song over the credits, which was really weird because there's one Christmas scene at the very end of the movie, but it came out at Christmas, so whatever.
Yeah.
It was just jarring. But yeah, it felt like a fucking Disney movie, but it wasn't at all. Oh, one of the other kids was in Luck of the Irish on the Disney Channel. Yeah. Yeah, like there was a lot of Disney Channel on here, and it was not a Disney movie. It was fucking weird. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got.
So, what did you think of the movie?
This movie fucking sucks, man. It's so loud and dumb. And I guess if you're 5, it's fun to watch Steve Martin hang from a chandelier with beans from Even Stevens. And, like, the balloon castle burst, and Steve Martin went flying into a cake. Like, oh, this is funny. Oh, there's a snake loose at the party, and everyone's freaking out. Like, cool, but where's the anything else? Where's the substance? It's like a circus, but it's just an empty tent with a clown in it.
And he's just spraying you in the face with water.
Yeah, like, it can't all be buffoonery and chaos. You need to have heart. You need to have... And they try to have that moment when the one kid runs away, but, like...
it hasn't earned it.
No, not even close to earning it. Because the only thing you know about this kid is that the family... So the movie does this thing where what it says, it never shows. Like, her whole book is about, and when she's doing her book tour, she's saying how much of how close they are as a family. And, like, the reason Oprah leaves is because they aren't like they act in the book. And it's supposed to be, like, you know, not a normal time for the family. Like, they're normally like we tell you they are. Just believe us, we told you. You don't have to see it at the beginning of the movie or nothing. But even when they're normal, there's still the one kid who feels like an outcast because the rest of the siblings call him FedEx. I never believed that there was a loving family here to save. It just felt like these two parents made too many mistakes. And in fact, one of them was legitimately they had sex too soon after the vasectomy mistake. They were going to stop, and then they were going to stop at 10, and then twins happened.
So,
but anyway, what was I saying? I want to put
a
button on that point. Like, if I don't believe the family's worth saving, the stakes of the family is falling apart mean nothing to me. And the movie doesn't set that up at all. Not nearly enough for the amount of chaos it throws into the mix immediately. So
the 10 children thing may actually have a basis in the book as well. Because when she was pregnant with the 10th, their father asked her, do you want to stop? And because this is something that, of course, they found out later after he died. And their mom was like, I mean, it's not like 10 children is going to be that much easier to deal with than 12. So I think we should just finish what we started.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
No, if I recall correctly, the way it happens in this is they're going to stop at 8, and she's on her 8th pregnancy, and it's twins. So they're like, all right, well, stop at 10 then, I guess, and have another. And then they were going to stop. And then they got drunk at a party, with their 9 kids at home, I guess. And who's watching them then? You found a babysitter then? Sorry. Because they like do it in the back of a truck after a party, and that's when the 10th one comes around. And then he does the snippy, and then shoots his load too quick, and then an extra set of twins. So, yeah, fucking... God, the more I think about it, the more just little holes I find in it that just make me care less about this fucking family.
So, I enjoyed the book. I thought it was very charming. You can feel the affection that this family has for one another. If you read it, I will warn, like I said, there is era-specific racism. There is a Chinese character. It is the cook for the family in California. He is written with an accent, but he is not made fun of for the accent. He is just written because he does not speak English super well. The one thing that's like really bad is that anything that's bad is called Eskimo.
That's not good.
But I really enjoyed the book. It was a quick read. The copy that I had said it was 376 pages. It did not feel that long. I was also reading it, on a phone, so maybe it was squishing it a little bit.
Pages are a little smaller.
Yeah. But yeah, even listening to the audiobook was like a breeze. So I recommend the book. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I recommended the movie in my notes as a long 94 minutes. I think there is a line they could have walked on this in 2003 with this cast, with these filmmakers, maybe not necessarily these writers, but this director even possibly. And it's not a lot of changes, but just something to sell it a little bit better. And my thought is, instead of having the whole book tour angle with the mom, where she wrote this memoir, who wrote Cheaper by the Dozen? It wasn't Frank's wife. It was his kids. Tell the movie through Hilary Duff's character's diary.
Yeah?
Because she's like the pretty girl that stuck up, the clothing, the fashion one, right? She would keep a diary, except she's hip, so it would probably be like a typey journal or whatever, and have each section of the movie just be her like, here's the fucking crazy things we did today. And then every 3 of them, like you do 9 of them throughout the movie or whatever, but every 3 is part of like the narrative arc. And maybe dad doesn't die at the end, but dad gets in an accident and they don't know if he'll make it. Or something like that. Give us some actual stakes other than, oh no, he'll have to quit his cushy fucking Division I college football coach job and go back to, Division 3 in the small town where they can barely afford their house. Sir, you were on a 5-year contract as the wealthiest or the highest paid state official in your state. You were on a 5-year contract and you resigned? Get fired, you dumb asshole! You're a millionaire on season 1 alone. They still have to pay you that if they fire you.
I mean, even if that's the stakes that they have.
Like, but they make it seem like at the beginning that when he's merely a Division 3 football coach, they could barely afford the 6-bedroom house and acres of land that they have. Oh, it's such a hard... But now then they move to the Chicago suburbs, they can afford a 10-bedroom house and a smaller plot of land and even a new car. Like, no, dude, you're making fucking $15 million this year. And the college is paying for your house. You are making an insane amount of money doing this job. And it's fucking weird. It's so weird. Where was I? I had a point.
There were no stakes.
Yeah, no stakes. Oh, yeah. So if I were giving them another draft, so you have Hilary Duff's character do like journaling.
The thing is, I wonder if that's too close to the Lizzie McGuire show, because that was kind of the framing device.
You're right. That's real close. Doesn't have to be that character then.
Yeah, I was gonna say either don't do it as that character or do it as a wink, wink, nudge, nudge,
or alternate it.
Yeah.
Where some of them are her recollection and some of them is Charlie, like telling his therapist.
Or they're all writing fucking college essays.
Yeah, his could be a college, like, do a different one for each kid even, how each kid views the family.
Yeah, one of them's writing a diary, one of them's writing an essay.
The twins are doing show and tell in preschool, the diary entry essay. Maybe one of the kids is weirdly Catholic for a reason, is doing a confessional. I don't care. Explaining to a cop. Like, I don't...
They were actually required to go to Sunday school because their father thought that even though he was not personally religious and has some really good one-liners about preachers, he thought that a well-educated man should know a little bit about everything, including the Bible. So all of the kids were required to go to Sunday school. Valid
reason. One of the only reasons I can understand, or like I can accept, to force your kids to go to church. Oh, I'm struggling this week.
They weren't required to go to church. They were required to go to Sunday school.
So they're required to do about as much research into the Bible as the Christo-fascists who will soon run this country have done.
Yes.
Yeah, so they could also so for political reasons, it's good for them to go to Sunday school.
But they also could read, so...
Damn.
There is an anecdote.
Brutal.
There is an anecdote super early in the book where touch typing was new at this time. And he taught all of his kids to touch type the exact same fucking way that we learned to touch type, which was where, you remember the little fucking paper keyboard and you colored the keys?
Yep, you had your home row and then like your left and right. And that is not how I type. I'm close, but there are some keys where I can find better with the further hand than with, just because I'm weird.
Yes. Understatement of the century, my love.
Actually, my style is even more efficient, Frank Gilbreth, because mine involves mouse control as well.
His ghost is going to come watch you type.
I realize I do that because I start typing with my left hand while my right hand is still moving from the mouse to the keyboard. And then back. So, like, my left hand has developed more of the keyboard space.
He would love you.
Yeah, he fucking would. So
Are you his rebirth?
I've been thinking about this man for 20 fucking years because he scratched such a specific itch in my brain. Are
you him reincarnated and that's why you want no children?
Is this why I work in logistics? Like, but also, yeah, the kids thing. It'd be a nightmare for me. 12 kids? I can barely handle our son. Oh, he's so sweet. He's in the window.
Sam and our daughter as well. Compliment her.
She is such a sweet loaf.
She is the precious little.
Oh, they love being in here when we record.
Because they know what time it is soon.
Is it treats time soon?
Soon.
Soon. Anything else you wanted to mention?
No.
I'm just kind of drifting.
Yeah, I think we covered it. There's not a lot of plot to speak of in terms of the book, so.
And that's kind of like. So our next episode's How to Train Your Dragon. Similarly, a different kind of real loose adaptation, from my understanding.
Yes.
And yeah, we probably also won't talk about the plot much then either, because we're going to be talking about, like, this is what I want to talk about with these 3 that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Which it's I don't think I said that last week. It's 3. We're going to do Annihilation another time. This is going to be How to Train Your Dragon, then adaptation, because Christmas, I don't want to do Annihilation on Christmas. Come on, we need to, like, at least do a Christmas movie of some sort. So, yeah, each of these are, like, 3 different kinds of adaptations, and I more want to talk about the ways that stories are adapted that aren't as, like, direct, you know what I mean? And this one being a super loose, like, concept-only adaptation.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same conversation we're going to have with an expansion kind of adaptation.
Correct.
So, just a little preview of what our next episode will be like. And I'm already starting research. That's a lie. Why did I fucking say that?
I already have the book.
Yeah, I mean, I like the movie, so it'll be a fun one. If you want to reach out to us in any way, links to our barely used social media accounts are in the link tree in the description to this podcast, as well as some other goodies from the past. I noticed, like, our high school mixtape is on there from when we did Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah. Remember when we did good books?
We just did, you lucky bitch. Also in that link tree is our Gmail account. Feel free, if you have anything you want to... If we got anything wrong about a book or movie, or you want to voice your own opinion, send it our way. If we like what you have to say and you allow us to, we'll read it out on the podcast. But until we come back for How to Train Your Dragon, please stay safe. Everyone out there in the U.S., maybe in more red areas and of marginalized communities, it's not a good thing that happened this week, and not good times are probably ahead for a lot of us. So, yeah, we're a safe place for y'all's yins and yours. Wow, I just ended this on a fucking downer. Yeah, stay safe out there. Find your communities that are safe and make plans if you need to, and do what you need to do to protect yourselves. And we love you very much.
We love you all.
Fuck Donald Trump. Luna, oh, she's so sweet.
She's so
She's
sweet.
such a baby.
She's a precious baby.
She's such a sweet baby. I'm gonna cuddle cats until I forget about the last 2 minutes of the pod.
Yay!